Hello, boys and girls. It's time to relax and listen to your story for today. I am Enna Bullock from Hands Across the Sea, partnering with the Early Learners Program and the Ministry of Education here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Today, I would be reading the story, The Boy Who Cried Wolf. And this story was adapted by Elias Smith from the original Aesop's Fables. These stories are passed down from one generation to the other and are enjoyed by both young and old. Do you love to hear stories? That's a yes. So, a look at our title once more. The Boy Who Cried Wolf. We have a boy and a wolf. So make your own predictions. Here are some questions to help you. Where do you think this boy was? And what was he doing? What is the wolf going to do? Why was he crying wolf? You can say what you are thinking out loud. I want to introduce you to a few words that will come up in the story, so please write them down on your paper before I begin to read. We have shepherd, tended, dull, moan, alert, trick, trust. We will look at some of these as we go along. Now let's get to our story. Remember, you have to listen attentively because you wouldn't want to miss anything. And as usual, there are questions to be answered. Once upon a time, a shepherd boy tended his master's sheep near a dark forest not far from the village. Soon, he found his days in the pasture very dull. There is no one to talk with, and there is nothing to do, he would moan. All he could do was talk to his dog or play on his shepherd's pipe. So, what was the boy doing? Yes, he was tending his sheep. And what word is used for people who take care of sheep? Shepherd. You are correct. Let's look at the word dull. Soon he found his days in the pasture very dull. What is the meaning of this? Can you think of another word for dull? Not interested. As some of us would say, boring. So this boy had some very boring days while he was out in the pasture. Let's move on. One day, as he sat watching the sheep and the quiet forest, he thought of a plan to amuse himself. I wonder what he was thinking. I wonder if this would be a good plan. His master had told him to call for help if a wolf should attack the flock, and the villagers would come running to drive it away. If I alert the village that a wolf is here, people will come. Then I'll have lots of people to talk with. And what fun it would be, the shepherd boy thought. What do you think? Was this a good plan? Let's move on. So, though he had not seen anything that even looked like a wolf, he ran towards the village shouting at the top of his voice, "Wolf! Wolf!" As expected, the villagers who heard the shepherd boy's cry dropped their work and made for the pasture with great haste. But when they got there, they found the boy doubled up with laughter at the trick he had played on them. Can you see him laughing? Can you see him throwing back his head and really having a good laugh? He was certainly enjoying this. A few days later, the shepherd boy again shouted, "Wolf! Wolf!" Once more the villagers ran to help him, only to find that they had been again tricked. What's the meaning of tricked? Yes, he had played a prank on them. Then, one evening, as the sun was setting behind the forest and the shadows were creeping out over the pasture, a wolf really did jump out from the underbrush and start chasing the sheep. The boy ran toward the village shouting, "Wolf! Wolf!" But though the villagers heard the cry, they did not run to help him as they had before. "He cannot fool us again," they said. The wolf carried away a sheep into the forest. That day, the shepherd boy learned an important lesson. If you desire people to believe and trust what you say, you must always be truthful. And that's the end of our story. Did you enjoy it? I'm sure you did. Now let's get back to those words that we had at the beginning of the story. And you are going to write down the meaning now that you have heard the story read to you. Some of them would be easy for you. Shepherd, can you remember what we said or who we said a shepherd was? Tended. Dull. You should remember this one. Moan. The boy moaned when there was nothing to do. Alert. Trick. Trust. If you cannot write the meaning straight away, you can think about them and you can check your dictionary after. Okay. Now, did you like the ending of the story? In fact, what was your favorite part of the story? Can you think of a different way to end it? Maybe you can continue to write about how the shepherd boy felt when he lost his sheep. Talk about it with your parents, and they can give you some help if you need it. So, what can we take away from this story today? If it's not the truth, then it's a lie. Have you ever told a lie? I'm sure I'm hearing many yes. How did you feel when the others found out that you were lying? Sure, that was not a good feeling at all. It's a bad habit to tell lies, and most of the time it gets you into some sort of trouble. Do you agree with me? I hope that you are not getting yourselves into any trouble while you have some extra time on your hands. Boys and girls, practice to speak the truth, because when you are accustomed to telling lies, it will be difficult to believe you when you are telling the truth. Stories like this fable that really didn't happen is called fiction. But even though they are made up, we can learn a lot from them. Today, we learned about trust and responsibility. My time is up, so thanks for listening today, boys and girls, and I'll see you another time. Remember, in your spare time, have fun reading and learning. Bye.